And then he got a job in the laboratory with Kraft Foods.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was really nice because he was bringing home cheese all the time.
Oh, yeah. Love me some cheese.
Well,
And
government
every
cheese.
The government cheese was
Yeah.
amazing.
It's got the highest cream content.
We had it growing up.
Unbelievable.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So, Mom, for Dad, because I heard a story that I don't know if I ever heard until tonight, and this is powerful. So he was applying to Ball State.
He applied to Ball State.
What was he going to study?
Wasn't it Ball State that had the shooting? Or
Kent State.
Kent.
That was
Well,
Kent,
we're
yeah.
erase this.
Oh, right. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
You
okay.
can put it
Ball
back
State,
in.
Kent
They're
State.
both state.
Yeah, the
Oh,
state
it's
college.
All right,
but Kent State. But why? What would he have studied at Kent State?
Oh, he was going to be a doctor.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
And there's that unanswered prayer that you see later.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that
That's what he
turns-
said years later.
that he-
Like, I failed my entrance exam.
he probably
He
didn't
crushed
even.
it.
He
He said he
probably
crushed
didn't.
it. And God has a way to divert.
Someone else they probably got switched because it was paper at the time. It's hard, but God was in control.
So-
once again,
Yeah, so they graduate from
Ball State is where Pam went.
Kent State.
Yeah, Kent
Not-
State. I was like, what? Ball State? It doesn't matter, but it's
We got
okay.
you.
It's okay. We got it. But so they graduate from Springfield, go to Florida. Dad pastors.
Back up, though.
Yeah.
Dad decided, we wouldn't have been there for the 4th year with you had he not decided to stay one more year because they had a 3-year program and a 4-year program. So he wanted to get his 4-year program.
And tell them where you guys were living when I was born. You brought me home. Dad always said this. I love this. Do you remember what apartment, the name of the street that you lived on?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Elm Street.
Elm Street. Nightmare of Elm
And
Street.
Dad always said we brought home our little nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare. I was going to say little Freddy Krueger.
So they graduate after 4 years, go to Florida, right?
And we go to Melbourne, Florida, and there's another thing that was just heart-wrenching because I did not know that I was going to have to be on staff there because I wanted to raise my babies. And I had Lamar, and that was really...
Handful, I bet.
No, it wasn't
Oh.
a handful. I was just
Yeah.
crying all the
Sure.
time. I didn't want to miss any part
Was
of
it
his
like
life.
postpartum and they probably didn't even recognize it at the time?
No, it's just my heart was with Lamar.
I got you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I
That's
figured
admirable.
Buck was out working for, of all people, he was working for Ronald Schaefer, who it turned out to come here
To Middletown. So years later,
at Grace.
Ron Schaefer would have called Dad, and that's what brought us to Middletown. So had we not gone to Melbourne, we would have never been in this area.
Ever.
Ever. So God's plan again.
Just
And
so intricate.
and yeah, in between all those things, I mean, you go Melbourne to Daytona Beach to Baltimore, Maryland, Dundalk, and then to Alexandria, Virginia, and then in 1984, boom, our family moves here to Middletown from Alexandria, and that's really, I mean, it's amazing to see. By that time, Trent was born in Daytona, and then Jonathan was born in Alexandria, Virginia.
80.
And so she's raising, Mom and Dad are raising 3 boys, which you can go ahead and ask her.
Yeah.
her-
Who was the favorite?
Who's the favorite?
Who's ever sick?
Oh, you were very
I
close.
was very close.
He said whoever needed me the most at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
We wrote
yeah,
it down because
yeah,
we knew we were going to ask you the question. But we
Yeah, so yeah,
Okay.
but by that time,
That's good.
and we come in 84, and then by 1990, there's a new pastor, a new regime coming in, and Dad's basically at Grace. He's like, hey, listen, we're bringing a new pastor. You might as well just look and see where you're going to go next, because he's going to bring in his own team.
Oh, he's not keeping.
No, so Dad, Mom, I mean, you know this, Mom and Dad are like everywhere, sending resumes everywhere, California, Michigan, all over the place. I mean, all over the place. And
Let's stop right there.
Yeah.
Rick and Vicki Mara
Saw Rick.
came to me and Buck and said, wherever you go, I said, we might go to California. We are going with you. We don't care. Back up.
Rick.
Was in our church in Alexandria,
Alexandria, Virginia.
We have known Rick. Rick came to our house when Jonathan was 3.
baby,
no,
yeah.
not even 3.
Yeah.
No.
I was 14 when I first met Rick. He walked into our church.
I just saw him down the way in.
Yeah,
today.
so he just literally moved.
He's our family.
Yeah, he moved. He moved to move here. Yes.
I've only known him for a couple of years.
So
now.
Rick and Vicky said, "Wherever you go, we're going."
Wherever you go, we're going.
That's
God's
loyal.
already called us.
That's loyalty.
But
and
they
that's
were
following
called
us.
too. They were
Yeah.
called. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And Dad was saying, "Wherever, Lord," and then God said, back to that Samuel moment that Mom talked about in her life. God said, "Start a church." God will do anything, but not that. I'm 51. He was 51. He was 51, and
This
she
is
was
his first
49,
church at 51.
right? No, not his first church.
His first church.
First
No.
one was Daytona Beach.
Daytona
Beach. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
that
right.
church was running 30 maybe at the time. And when we left, they were running 200. And now it has moved and it is a mega church.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So by 1990, the basement of their house becomes
But we need to back
blessing.
up to the church in Daytona Beach because this was another moment for us to learn to walk by faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very important because Buck went to, when he found out that this church was needing a pastor and he was going to be there, he went to the fellowship meeting and asked the churches there to support him. We've supported that church before. We're giving you nothing. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. And out of the kindness of Brother Schaefer's heart, he said that he would send us a weekly support, which I think was $50 a week.
This was Daytona Beach. This is Daytona Beach.
And I am telling you, it was hard. During that time, Buck wanted to start a bus ministry, and God laid it on his heart. And people would ask us, like on Sunday nights, to go out and have pizza or something. We didn't have a dime. They didn't know, but we did not have a dime.
We're good.
So, we were always good.
Yeah.
We were always good. But one night, he presented that we were going to buy this bus. And so he challenged everybody in the church. It was little, and he said, come on, let's get a bus so we can grow. And so he challenged them. I know that you don't know where that money's going to come from, but let's trust God. And so I trusted God for $100 and making nothing. And he trusted God for $100. And then I remember this dear couple, and they trusted God for $200, and they had little kids, and we're all trusting God for money.
Sure.
And one night, one Sunday night, Sunday morning, a man pressed a bill in my husband's hand, and he was all excited because he thought, we can go get pizza. We can go get pizza with these people if they would. And he looked at it and he opened it up as a $100 bill, so he knew he had his $100 for the bus. So
No pizza.
So he held it up in front of the church on Sunday night and he said, I got my 100. And somebody else stood up and said, I'll buy that 100 for 200. So then I had mine.
Yeah.
And for $1,000, we bought a wonderful school bus.
The provision of God.
No one has brought tears to my eyes twice in one podcast.
One podcast,
and
we're
still
rolling. We're still rolling.
I'm just
So,
saying.
so Mom, so much, but the basement of Baraka, the beginning of Baraka,
Oh, wow.
the miracles of Baraka, the wow of Baraka.
Yeah.
That's a catalog of episodes. But Mom, what would you say about just if you could compress just that compress that beginning, like what God was doing, because that was another miracle provision. You and Dad, you talked about not having any income.
Oh, yeah. Oh, back to Daytona, because this was another day.
I wasn't even talking about Daytona.
Well, I
was
have to
talking
go,
about
but I
Baraka.
have to go back to Daytona because
Go back to
Wrap that up
Daytona.
first.
because
Yeah.
this is really wonderful. So we did something called Faith Promise because we wanted to send missionaries.
Yeah.
So we were really stretching it. I mean, we're paying our tithe and over our tithe, and then we're paying Faith Promise. And I did all the bills, and there just wasn't any money. And one of the things that I learned really early in life, you pay your tithe, and then you pay your bills, and what's left over is groceries. And people think that the groceries come first, but they do not, because God is duty bound to pay for those, to provide them some way, somehow. You might have an empty pantry, as the kids all know. They all grew up with an empty pantry, but a big God. So Easter rolls around, and we came home for the first time in our lives and sat down at the dinner table, and we had nothing to eat. Nothing. I mean, nothing. And Lamar was young at the time, and I remember he became so upset. I think he might have lost his even faith in God at that point because he went screaming upstairs, crying, nothing to eat, nothing to eat. And at that time, there was a knock on the door. And I went to the door, and there stood this woman that was in our church, Lynn McTighe, and she said, "My freezer just broke."
That was Baltimore.
No,
Lynn McTighe.
well, then it still happened in,
Daytona.
I think it happened in Daytona.
But Lynn McTighe
I think
was from Baltimore.
well, anyway,
No less impactful. Right.
and I will tell you, all this food, and Easter baskets for the kids. Easter baskets for the kids.
Yeah. The provision of God.
God's alive.
So,
God is
so
alive.
then when Baraka is birthed and they are without, you're without any income.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, we stepped out by faith. We had a mortgage that was due. We had a Visa bill that I could not get paid off. Lamar's all were in school. Trent and Jody had a problem that they came up against. It was bad. And Jonathan was going through some terrible stuff at our former church, and they were blaming him because the kids had heard at home, so they would pounce on him and really give him a terrible time. And with that, we ended up this is February 2nd, we made up our minds that we were going to start Baraka. And so we found this, it was a book. It was Daily with the King. And in there was a reading about trusting God. Mm-hmm. And that when you trust God and you're all in, you just saw the limb off the tree under you and you fall into his arms. Well, we are, my husband's 51 years old, and I don't have a job. And we're going to start this church. But before we did, we called my mother and dad. Remember, they'd let me down that one time.
Yeah, right.
But their faith had really grown by then.
Yeah.
And we said, "You're the only ones that we can ask. What do you think of? We feel like God wants us to start a church in Middletown. What do you think?" And Daddy said, "We thought that all along. We've been waiting to hear this." So that was February 2nd or 3rd, and we started meeting in the basement of our home. And so we named Baraka during that time. We had a Southwest Baptist Church or something. 2 or 3 names came up. But I had put in Baraka. And the reason being, I had a Sunday school class prior to this in our former church. And it was very interesting how it got named. There was a lady that came to me, we were supposed to name it on a picnic Sunday at the former church. And our class didn't have a name, so I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do when they asked me to tell the name. And this friend of mine said, could I read you a letter? She said, I have a friend that just had a baby, and they named this baby Baraka. I said, oh, that's great. Where's that come from? Oh, that comes from 2 Chronicles chapter 20. I said, oh, and it means blessing. And I said, well, our class has been so blessed. That's the name. So we chose that name, and then we put it up for vote for Baraka. And of course, here we are. Yeah. Since 1990. So here we are in February of 1990. And we find out that there's a church building for sale right around the corner from our house, of all things.
Yeah.
And we used to walk around it. We'd take afternoon walks or something. And Buck said that church is doomed. It's really doomed. They have pentagrams in the windows. Now, pentagrams are bad.
Yeah.
It was built as a Universalist church.
Really?
Yeah.
And skulls in the windows.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so we took black magic markers later. But they said they wanted $135,000 for this building. And so as we prayed, we knew that there was a number, 111,000 in our former church that they were trying to raise. And God just said, offer them $111,000, and we have no money. But somebody
money.
There's 17 people in the basement, and somebody came up with $500 maybe as a down payment, and they go to the real estate agent and say, we're going to offer $111,000. Well, you're crazy. They are not going to take it. Oh, yeah, they will. They will.
Hey, everybody, I'm really excited to announce that Dirty Big Secret is now on Amazon. That's right. It's now available for your friends and family, people that you work with, people you go to school with. Tell them about Dirty Big Secret. It truly is a life story, my life story about the need for you and I to be in community. And so I would so appreciate you telling people. I would also appreciate if this has meant a lot to you. I know a lot of you have told me how much it's touched your life. If it has meant something to you, would you please give an Amazon review, because that just helps people see the opportunity for them to pick up the book. So please help us out. Get the word out. Go to Amazon. Tell your friends. Tell your family. So excited. You can look at the link below. It'll take you right to that link. I'm excited. Woo! Celebrate with me. Dirty Big Secret. The need for community. It's real. Blessings to you.
We know they will.
They will.
Because God already told us that. Yeah, okay, they will. So, they took that back to them. They jumped on it. Yeah, we'll sell it for $111,000. Well, where's the money coming from? Well, God. Now, this is, remember, we started February 2nd or 3rd? Yeah. By the 27th of that month, we got a phone call. People were over at our house cleaning and trying to get the basement ready. I got a phone call, and I answered the phone, and they said, may I please speak with Dr. Ferrell? And I said, yes, may I say who's calling? Well, no.
No.
I thought, oh, this is going to be good. So I called my husband. He was in the basement, and he picked up down there. Next thing we knew, he was on his knees sobbing. And the voice on the other end said, I'm not an angel, and I don't pretend to be. But I represent an anonymous donor that is going to give you the sum of $111,000 to buy this first building.
Yeah.
And it will be in the bank by March 8th.
You don't even know still.
We probably know now.
Okay.
But at that time, you've never heard such screaming and crying. We're laying on the floor.
Third time.
Lying on the floor, crying.
Oh, my goodness.
Knowing what a great God we had in 1 month's time. 1 month.
From don't know where the down payment's coming, paid off in a month.
And back to, we didn't have any money. My husband had holes in the bottom of his shoes. Somebody miraculously put 2 new pairs of shoes in our car. We went to another church. They asked us to come and preach. He preached, and they gave him $1,000 for preaching, and it paid off our Visa bill that couldn't get paid. Paid our mortgage. Paid every bill that month. Every month.
Yeah. Yeah. Provision of God.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Which is
God provides for what he orders. Yeah. And now look at what he's done.
Oh.
Multi-campuses,
Look at
multi-congregations, the lives changed.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm just one of many.
Place of blessing, right? And my dad used to say this. He would say it. He said, Baraka is a hospital. And that's true. I mean, you think about the hospital in the lives of people. He would also say you can't get this at Kmart. And you can't get this at Walmart.
That's true.
But
There would be nights when the Holy Spirit would we can't get this at Walmart.
Yeah.
And the night that Lamar surrendered to preach, I mean, it was, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
And we had been praying, and we would see him leaning forward, and we'd pray, oh God, please, please call somebody out of our family. And he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think, and then we've got Luke. I think there's more to come. I'm praying for more.
There's
to come.
100% there's more to come.
Out of our family. Oh, we just want, God, please, please, please. The greatest lesson that I have learned and it's taken a long time, is not to worry. And you either believe that God's in control or you don't. And worry, I'm going to say it, this was the first time that I saw it for what it is last Sunday. Worry is hell. You are tormented when you worry. And God says not to. To worry about anything. Anything.
Yeah, anything. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
We could go so deep with you, but I do want to ask you one thing before I know whatever time is, but you are obviously have been a huge blessing to so many people. I hear it all the time, Lord, Nell led this person to Christ or this person to Christ. I'm sure you don't take credit for that, but you have been such an incredible...
I come alongside, but God has given me an incredible gift to see through the facade of people, to see the answers they give that aren't born again. And that I just thank him for that gift.
So how do you get through to him? Because you obviously you're gifted. God's given you a gift. And
it's different all the time,
Okay.
Joey. But this happened not long ago, and it shocked me. So a dear lady had come to 70 times 7. And by the way, that will be a life changer.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Well, it will change your life.
It's great.
Because
I've heard that many people say that.
Yeah.
well,
I need to do it apparently.
well, I will tell you, it helped me.
Yeah.
It changed my life. So I will tell you,
Yeah.
a life changer. So anyway, where was I going? Oh, so the one that shocked me.
Yeah.
So this couple came for 70 times 7. That's where I was going with that. And so the dear lady, a few days after 70 times 7, her daughter came to church, and she looked just kind of hard,
Yeah.
And she said, my daughter was saved at a young age, And I said, "Oh, I'm glad to meet you. Since that time, have you had any doubts?" First time I met her.
First time. You're just, Holy Spirit, speak to me, right?
I mean,
Speak through me.
it was Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And she just burst into tears, sobbing. And she said, "I've had a lot of doubts." Next Sunday, she was baptized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you in the water a lot, which always makes me
Giggle.
No, I get tears every time because I'm just like, wow, it's amazing to see.
God's used my mom powerfully, to do a lot. Obviously, I credit her and Dad with living faith.
Yeah.
I think it's the gift that God's given me through them, obviously through the Lord, but through them. But I've watched my mom, not quit. Like Dad dies in 97. She has every, opportunity to go, well, this is, a great run, but she doesn't. She does missions work in places like Slovakia, in England, in Greece, in Africa. Am I missing anything? In England. She does.
My favorite place, well, I hate for people to know this, but it was Africa because I was used greatly. And I mean, there were some people there that were quite wealthy. They were like a senator would be in the United States, the Marathis.
They had some power, probably, right? Yeah.
They owned a rose exporting business. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, acres of tents with roses and send them all over the world. And they owned a service station and a restaurant. And then in Nairobi, they had a place. And then their son was the administrator of the hospital in Sharon. Sharon, which is outside
of
Nairobi.
Yeah.
And they brought me there and wanted me to train the pastors. I'm like, what? And they assigned pastors to me for a month.
Yeah.
And they took me everywhere. And we built a tabernacle, a small scale tabernacle. And the tabernacle, as I was teaching, there was a lady that came in one day, and she had a baby at her breast and one toddling around her feet. And at the end of me teaching for that month, she said, "If I had anything I could give you, but I have this." And she handed me 3 eggs in a brown paper bag because that was taking food from her children. It's the biggest gift I've ever received in my life.
Yeah. Mom, we've been able to travel back to Africa. You, your son, and your grandson. That's a memorable. Mom and I have been able to travel with Mary Ann to Israel.
Broke my shoulder there.
Broke her shoulder there, but not before that I got to baptize her.
Oh.
And Mary Ann and I were baptized again. And just, memories flood. And I realized that, through the years, God has been faithful. I go all the way back to the beauty of a couple, Laverna Bourne and her husband, who never had children. But think about, from their impact and their investment in community, the lives that have been saved.
And I'd like to also, these people too are in heaven. Their names are the Claypools. And Charles Claypool and his wife. And so Charles Claypool and his wife signed our marriage certificate along with Brother Oni and his wife, or however they do it. But I will say that Charles Claypool and his wife would come, Mother and Daddy. Mother would prepare Sunday dinner. Remember, they're out in the country, little country church. And then Charles Claypool would open the Bible, the Word of God, every Sunday afternoon and disciple them. And I mean, you know.
The
And
gifts
then-
of God.
Yeah, and then of course my sister will be in heaven. She died 2011. Tomorrow's her birthday. Precious. When I was overseas, she was on the phone with a lot. And of course my brother, was called in the ministry. So my dad led Eileen's husband to the Lord before they got married, and then Rick met Tammy, and then she already knew the Lord. So
Everyone, to the glory of God, everyone on our side of the family, every one of the family is in church, doing some type of a service to the Lord, and it's remarkable. I have a cousin who is training right now in the Pacific Northwest to go and do missions aviation in tough to reach places. And so you look at that and you're just like, and the stories that Mom always tells, and will remind us of that we've forgotten. And this is what I say: we didn't know it. We didn't have. I mean, we were, pastors' kids. We were poor, but we didn't know we were poor.
Sure.
Because we were rich. There was a lot of things that we were given and had opportunity to do as we grew up, and that's what I celebrate, and that's what I just marvel at is the baraka of life, the blessings that God has given to our family through the sacrifice of so many who have lived before us and who are in heaven, and that great cloud of witnesses, and I know this. I got the blessing of being born into a family.
You sure did.
Lamar Ferrell the second, who was known affectionately as Bucky.
I learned that today.
Yeah, and Larnell Newsom Ferrell, and to be raised in a home that lived faith, and to be able to follow faith and see faith, and there's so much. So much, and I'll just say this: this episode has got to be. It has to, because it's gone so long. It's going to be split in half. It has to be split.
And
in half.
I got one last question.
And you
for
got
Mom.
one. And you got one last question. Then you're gonna take us out. And we'll do some edits.
Yeah, quick question. I don't know if there's a quick answer. Someone like myself that is really striving to share their faith with others, and obviously there's a lot of times that I can't get the message across, right? I have a sister right now, and Jill, I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
you tell them what you know.
Yeah.
You tell them how great God is.
Yeah.
You tell them, you show them some really important scriptures, like you must be born again, which is John 3. I mean, that's the crux. And Nicodemus was really, he had a big job. He taught the Jews Judaism. And Jesus grabbed him and said, how could you be a leader like you are and you don't even know these things? I can't even talk to you about truths on this earth because you don't understand spiritual truth, heavenly truths. And so you have to realize that the only way that people can come to know Jesus is that scripture in John where it says, unless the Father draw them, you cannot come to Jesus. So I would say pray that the Father draw them.
Yeah.
And when the Father draws them, then you have a wonderful opportunity. But you don't know who the Father's drawing. Right. So your job is, as we learned over in Africa or over in Israel, the sin of the desert is to know where the water is and not to tell. And so you don't know if the Father's drawing, but you can be an observer and just tell.
Opportunity. She used the word.
Yeah.
And we love to use that word opportunity.
Yeah.
all the time, because opportunity has that word unity, and that leads to community. And there's a lot of Jack and Jills out there. There's a lot of people out there that God puts in the path. I've watched, I've watched a grandmother that the kids call Mimi. I've watched these grandkids be bold with their faith. I've watched even my daughter. She's an evangelist, and I think she gets it. It's funny. I really think this. I think Ellie has gotten the evangelism gift from her Mimi, and I think Luke has gotten the shepherding gift from his Gaga, his grandfather, who he would have never met. And so these gifts are great, and I think Mom, you'd never know it, but Mom grew up not wanting to speak to anybody, wanted to hide in a corner, and God's made her an extrovert, really, for his glory,
shy beyond
and
shy.
Shy beyond shy. And God has called her out of that cocoon and done amazing things. Mom, I'll say this, it's not been a boring life, and it's been an amazing journey. And we get to this week. We get to celebrate another milestone in her life.
I wanted to tell you something that's really funny about when I was in Slovakia, and I couldn't speak a word of English. And the people ever in that little town of Novo Mesto knew that I couldn't speak. And so they would see me like in a store, and they'd try to come and help me. Like in our country, if you're buying fabric, you buy needles, you buy pins, you buy patterns. But no, over there, it's all strung out. And they would come and say, well, let me take you to this store and that store.
You have to go to different stores.
And they would translate for me.
That's
it's just
good.
amazing to see.
That's
you
good.
know.
That's good.
One other thing that I think is really important that I learned about trusting God, because this is real important. So I had 2 incidents. The first one is I fly into Amsterdam, Holland, for the first time by myself.
Ooh, mercy.
Buck has been dead, several years, and as God would have it, Trent got this wonderful job so that I could fly, paying, just the taxes.
Sure.
So I fly in, and I'm scared, and there's nobody to meet me. No one.
Oh, mercy.
And the place clears out, and they all speak a different language. And I am thinking, I could panic here. I don't know what to do. I'm crying out to God. And all of a sudden I heard English. And I ran to the person, and she was a travel agent. And I told her my plight, and she said, well, you wouldn't even know how to use the telephones here. So she said, I will take you to the telephone. Give me the phone number of the people that are supposed to be there from Slovakia, and I will call. So she did. And found out that Zorka had been delayed and was probably going to be a half an hour late. Well, I didn't know that. So, but she also said, here's my number, and if they don't show, you call me, and I'll handle it from there. Now, I get over into Athens, Greece, and if you've never been in Athens, it takes by train, bus, subway, an hour to get across the city. And I'm going to work at a place called the Oasis, which was for refugees from Afghanistan. And so I am there, and my friend, we had bought the groceries for that evening, and she said, I forgot the cookies. I said, I'll go get the cookies. I remember, I thought. But everything is the same there. Graffiti everywhere on all the walls. And it's all high rises. The kids grow up in high rises. They play in the hallways on the 4th or 5th floor. But anyway, I do not know my way at all. And I forgot my phone. didn't have my phone,
Oh, no.
had no way of reaching out to anybody but God. And I'm stopping people. Do you speak English? Could you tell me where the Oasis is? The Oasis had a sign this big on the side of the wall up about 10 feet, said Oasis. They'd never heard of Oasis, and they spoke Greek, and of course, and eventually, after about a half an hour, I said, Lord, I know that I'm gonna go crazy here. And I remember vividly, there was some kind of a railing, and I went over there and I paused, and I remembered the one word in Greek, odos, which means the way.
Yeah.
So I prayed, Lord, you are the odos. You have got to come and help me. I am so lost. And I mean, I'm starting to panic in my heart. Mm-hmm. No phone. It's starting to get a little late in the afternoon. And then this man that I'd only met once came up to me. And he had told my friend, I won't find her. She said, you will. Don't come back without her. And he did find me. Yeah. And those are the two, one of the two most scary times ever.
Wow.
The Hodos. The way.
The way.
The man founder. The God-man founder.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's what we celebrate. Joey, take us out of this incredible 2-part series.
This has turned into a 2-part series. I'm just so blessed to have been part of this. I learned so much about you, so much about your dad, Bucky, who I've never heard that on from the pulpit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of at a loss for words.
Yeah.
And I had things that I wanted to go deeper, but we're already at 2 parts. So
2 parts.
Thank you for blessing us.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I never really got to sit down and talk to you either, so this was great. Folks, if you didn't enjoy this, there's something wrong with you. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Be blessed.